Welcome to the True Talk Podcast. Here's your host, Jenna.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of True Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Jenna. And for those of you who somehow, I don't know why, but don't recognize the beautiful person on the screen, it is the one, the only Greek pop sensation, Evangelia. If I had the round of applause button, I'd press it right now. But guys, what an absolute honor. And I'm literally shaking right now that I have a Greek pop star on my podcast. What is life right now? Just goes to show you what can happen and how you can follow your dreams and be here. But Evangelia, thank you so much, times a million, for being on the True Talk podcast. And welcome to the True Crew. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. I'm super grateful to be here too.
All right, guys. So we're going to dive into all things Evangelia and how she came to be. Evangelia, it was honestly for me, it kind of felt like overnight the next day, I heard your song Pali with Mente Fuerte, and I was like, okay, like this is a cool ass song, but who's Evangelia? So how did you become into the music industry?
So I always loved music, and always dreamt of being a singer, and it's always been the dream. And when I was in college, I used to host open mic nights and just gather people together. I love nothing more than just people sharing their art and expressing themselves. And I loved writing songs and performing them. But to do it, professionally, my dad was always like, Evangelia, like, it's a great hobby. Let's make sure you get like a real job, and all of that. If I wasn't doing music, the only other thing I really enjoyed, and really liked was teaching. And I actually have my master's in elementary special ed, and I was a teacher, and I taught by day, and by night I like ran around New York City, writing songs, performing, doing everything I could, networking. And then there ended up being budget cuts in the school district that I was working at. And I was not tenured yet, and one of the younger teachers. So me and a lot of my fellow young teachers we lost our jobs, but I kind of took that as a sign from the universe to like go after my dreams, because I probably wouldn't have quit on my own.
Yeah, it was that blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
For sure.
So then I just kind of started getting, just being even more immersed in it, extra hours. It used to just be after school hours, but now it's like all day, everything I possibly could do. And then I met my now boyfriend and like life partner, creative partner, everything partner, Jay Stolar, who we make all the music together with. And at first we avoided making music, but then there just was no denying that there was creative chemistry. And
yeah.
So yeah, he and I kind of got together and started creating, and I had my idea of like blending traditional Greek elements with American pop music. He was fully on board and supportive with it, and we started, doing our demos, and we had a couple demos that we felt strongly about and started sending them out to some contacts and some labels, and the rest is kind of history.
I mean,
There's lots more in between all of that, but that's kind of that's like how I got in,
Yeah. Okay. So are you born in New York?
Born in New Jersey. New Jersey. My dad's from Crete and my mom is Italian American. And I grew up spending all my summers in Greece, on a farm with my yaya. So
amazing.
Really heavily influenced by my Greek heritage and everything about Greece and being Greek and being proud of that. Like my dad was, he was the cultural chairperson for the Pan-Cretan Association of America for 10 years.
Wow.
Musicians and all sorts of people were always coming through my house, and I was involved in helping my dad with these events. And he became president at one point. My mom learned Greek, because on my mom's side, the Italian side, my great-grandfather on her side came in, and unfortunately, the traditions and the language wasn't really passed
Yeah.
down in the way that with my dad being, you know, just off the boat from Greece, uh,
Right.
it just kind of, you know, took over. And I learned, I did choose to learn Italian in school as a way to kind of get in touch with that side of me. But the Greek side has always been very, very strong.
Yeah, you're Greek through and through, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Incredible. Was it scary to jump into this industry, kind of not at an older age,
Hmm.
but just like, teaching didn't
Yeah.
didn't work out, didn't happen. You were like, okay, this this music thing better work
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. No, of course it was scary. And it was definitely the harder choice. Like, the easiest thing would have been to take another teaching job, which I got offers like immediate.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
in other districts, and actually I remember this because I was laid off. It was like April that we found out when we still have to finish off the year through like June or something. But we find
Yeah.
out in April, like, hey, you're not going to be hired here next year, unfortunately. You can start looking elsewhere. And at that point, I started reimagining my life and the lifestyle I wanted and what I wanted to pursue. And I had already like pictured myself going for music. And it was on the last day of school that the principal invited me into the office and he said, there's a teacher that's retiring a year earlier than expected. The job is yours if you want it. And at that point, I had already like
It's
accepted that I am not going to do that. And I like respectfully declined the
wow.
position because I was like, you know what? It's kind of now or never. And I'm going to go for this. So,
Wow.
but it was definitely scary.
It's scary.
It's a crazy risk, but like I don't know, deep
Yeah.
down I just always knew like I don't know. And it's not an easy road. It's definitely not an easy road. It's a crazy industry, but I just knew that I had to do it.
But your talent is top tier. I
Thank you.
mean, for the people who haven't seen you live, which we're definitely going to go into that more because Evangelia is on her summer tour right now.
Hmm.
But for the people who haven't seen you live, that you're so comfortable up on stage, you're so comfortable performing, you're an incredible dancer, an
Thank
incredibly
you.
gifted singer. So it's just like obviously there were a lot of hours of practicing and all of that goes into it,
Yeah.
but I feel like you shot up top tier. I mean, you have a song with one of the biggest Greek pop stars, Eleni Foureira, who's one of my favorites.
Love her.
You have it with Mente Fuerte, and then you have your singles. Uh,
Thank
It,
you.
I'm literally in shock.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's really crazy. If I look back, and like, you know, tell younger me what she will have done, but you know, within this time period, she'd be pretty pumped.
Yeah. Do you feel like a small fish in a big pool being around all those artists that have been around for years now?
You know, yes and no. There's so many artists out there.
Yeah.
So I think in general, it's like you can start to feel like a small fish in a big pond. But if I try my best to just kind of like compare myself to myself. And it's
I
like
love
each
that.
year, it's like it's my pond and more people are coming to hang out in my pond, you know?
I love that. And it's so true. Like, so if you can walk me through your style of music.
Mm.
I know it to be very integrative of
Mhm.
including the Greek and the American
Mhm.
because, you switch your lyrics and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's that cool pop, but there's also like the love song behind
Mhm.
it.
Mhm.
Walk me through that. Walk me through the creative mind.
Yeah, well, I always like for my songs to have a little bit of Greek flavor, and it's not always the same spices that we use each time, right? Like sometimes I'm going just switching the languages from English to Greek. Sometimes it's incorporating certain Greek instruments like the bouzouki in an unexpected way or in a way that isn't usual for an
Hmm.
instrument like that to be found in a pop song, like the way it is in my song Fotia. So each song is different and kind of tells a different story and a different perspective. And a lot of the ways that we create the music, especially earlier on, now my team is pretty tight, and they're all on board on the same page. But when I first started and we were like bringing people on and starting to experiment, I made a whole Google Doc that linked out to traditional Greek music that I liked, instruments, dances, all sorts of things to just like educate the people that I was bringing in to work on the
That's
project who would have
super
had no
smart.
idea. And
That's
so we
super
would,
smart, and that's the teacher in you.
yeah.
That's
And so we
definitely
would
the
click
teacher.
it open and they'd be like, "Oh, this is so cool." And then we'd create inspired by something. And every time it would be different. Sometimes it was the Tuberleki in this particular like Tiftetelli song that we
Uh,
would pull and create a similar rhythm. And then the whole song had this like heart of a Tiftetelli, let's say, but it wasn't that, you
yes.
know? So each song is kind of inspired by something different, and it's really fun and unexpected every time.
Yeah, I like your song Paradise.
Thank you.
First of all, I love the story behind it. Can you
Yeah.
tell the listeners and viewers the
Yeah.
story behind
I
it?
love Paradise. It's such a special song. And me and Jay, my boyfriend, we co-wrote it with our friends who are also a writer producer couple, and they write songs. And we were, during COVID, we would write a lot together. And we were writing some other song, and then like I went to a bathroom break, somebody else was there, and then we came back and the boys were like playing these chords and these melodies, and the song just fell out of us. And we essentially like wrote it about our relationships, like our beautiful, like, knock on wood, healthy relationships. When you're in a good relationship, it feels like you're just with your best friend. And so that's what that song is about. It's like, life's hard and it's not always going to be perfect and pretty, but like as long as I'm with you, like I'm I'm happy.
I just got chills. I've been bumping to that song
Thank you.
like since you released it, and it's just one of those. And no, I don't think you did there's no music video to it
There
yet,
actually
right?
is. There actually is. So you could go check that out now and get
Oh,
to
there
you
is.
can rediscover.
I think it's in the music video where you're like out the window or something. Like I
Yeah.
remember your hair's like just blowing
Yeah,
back.
that sounds about right.
And that's what I do. I put the windows down, like hair is just
Nice.
flying. It's like a great summer song and just an
Thank
even
you.
more special message. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Okay, so you not only sing, but you dance.
Mm-hmm.
And you're from Crete.
That's right.
What part of Crete are you from?
So I'm from Pallójora. It's
Okay.
a town outside of the Jaña region. Right.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. I haven't been to Crete yet, but mark my words, I'm coming
You're gonna
be-
love it. The food's.
because it's gorgeous. I'll
Mm.
let you know when I'm coming.
You let me know. I'll give you the spots.
Amazing. So, for other people who haven't seen yet, but they will when they go to your page, because, like I always say, my guest info is linked in the description. You started the trend of dancing pedozali around the
Mm-hmm.
world.
Yeah.
Where did you even think to do that? Like,
I don't
it's
know.
so
It kind of
cool.
just happened. I'm trying to think like where it started. It might have started in Australia when I went and toured
Ooh,
there last year. I honestly can't even. I should go find what was the first one. I don't even remember. And I just kind of did it. And then it ended up on the news in Greece. And I was like, huh,
okay.
I'm going to do this again. It's so easy and so fun. I think the first one I did with it was like I did something silly during COVID where it was like, uh, when people ask me how I stay in shape, and it's like me holding, weights and doing pedozali, and it's like
Yeah.
cardio and weights at the same time. But
Because
it's
pedozali
one
is
of
a
my
cardio workout.
it's one of my favorite dances, and it just kind of stuck. It just kind of stuck, and I love that it stuck because I love doing it.
It's so cool. I love it, especially when you're in front of like those lamp.
Landmarks.
Yeah, like in Chicago in front of the
Yeah.
beach. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so cool. It's so awesome. And
Thank you.
obviously, it makes all the Greeks, especially Cretans, so proud. Is that your favorite Critico dance?
Yes, it's become my favorite. I have to say, before I started doing the TikTok, I think it just like, but does that just kind of happen to be the one I did?
Yeah,
And I do love it, and I love that it's traditionally like a male dance, but obviously women can do it too, and it's
right.
2024 now, so I kind of love, switching the narrative in that way. But
Yeah.
another one of my like I love Malevisiotico. It's again a Cretan one
Well,
where I just love how fast and fun, and I love all the different like figuras and variations you could do, and
yes.
yeah,
That's
I love
my favorite
Malevisiotico.
one.
Yeah, Malevisiotico
That's
is so much fun.
that's a calf burner.
Yeah,
That
that one, these are all like, but the Malevisiotico are no joke. Like, it is real cardio.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Like, I'd like to see any gym rat that says I can run 10 miles, whatever. Try doing that for
Yeah,
like 10
try doing
minutes
that for
straight.
5 whole minutes.
Yes. Okay. So, aside from your social media stardom and trend, also with the social media trends, we have cooking with Evangelia.
Yes,
What so I assume that you love to cook,
I do.
especially Greek dishes. Who
Hmm.
got you into it?
Both my parents cook
Okay.
and love to cook, and so I just kind of grew up around cooking and my family in Greece. I learned early on, my yaya, when I would live with her, she used to have like weak knees, so she couldn't like stand over the stove for a long time. So by the time I was 10, like I was cooking the food and she was like kind of telling me what to do. And so now I love to, similarly with what I do with my music, I love the super traditional Greek stuff, but I also kind of have fun with thinking about how to give something a Greek unexpected twist. And I like
Yes.
crack myself up with it. Like one night when I was just eating ramen noodles because we were just lazy and it was a late night, and I was like, I could totally make this avgolemono. Like, all it's technically chicken soup. I just have to add like the
If
lemon.
you think about
And you
it.
know what I mean? So it's just like, and I like cracked myself up. I was like, I'm gonna try it. And I tried it and I filmed it, and people still DM me pictures of their avgolemono ramen that they've
No
tried. And it's
way.
just like a fun snack.
What was the one? Was it with yogurt
With
or
yogurt and olive oil.
yes.
Yeah, just like simple. It's so good.
Like
So good.
I love how your mind works with
Yeah.
just integrating not only
Yeah.
with music but with the
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
Unless you come out with an Evangelia Zone recipe book, like
That's a
that,
good idea.
hey,
Maybe I'll
it's
do a little
not,
ebook.
that's not a bad idea. That would
Yeah.
be really good.
Yeah, it would be fun.
All right, check that out, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, now social media trends aside, you came out with your own jewelry line,
Yes, I
which
did.
is gorgeous.
Thank
Gorgeous.
you. Wait, let me see if I can. Hang on, because I'm not wearing a ring right now. I think I have them.
Which one's this?
This one's Earth.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, so they came out. It's handmade jewelry. I'm obsessed with handmade Greek jewelry. I love Greek jewelry because I feel like it has this unique, like,
Yes.
handmade, earthy element and vibe to it. And every
Yes.
summer when I would go to Greece, I'd always get jewelry to bring home, and everybody'd be like, "Where is this from?" And I'm like, I got it from this random person on the street that made it," and it was just so
Yeah.
cool, just like so unique and so cool, and something you can't really find anywhere else in the same way. And even like with my art and like the blending of the Greek elements, jewelry has always been something that I wear a lot of. Like, what am I? Yeah, like these are made by a friend of mine in Greece. Like, they're crazy handmade
Gorgeous.
jewelry. And so I wanted to create something of my own in a way to bring it here into the US. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, these rings, we did the four elements: earth, air, fire, and water. And now for the tour, we actually have two new limited edition colors that are only going to be available.
Can we know what the colors are?
So one of them is called Greek Summer Day, and the other one is Greek Summer Night. So stay
The
tuned to
tour is
check them out.
called the Greek Summer Tour.
Exactly.
And for
Exactly.
those who don't understand, summer is meant for Greece, like the Greek
Exactly.
summer. I grew up the same way as you. I live my summers in Greece. And
Yes.
whatever employer didn't like it and didn't want me to be gone for a month or 2 months at a time, I'm like, sorry, I don't want the job.
Yeah, no, it's true. And like right now, that's what the tour is called. It feels like Greek Summer Tour, right? Because it's my North American tour.
Yes,
Because it's gonna feel like Greek summer. Like that's what I want. I want people to come
I
in and they're
love it.
no longer in Dallas, they're no longer in Toronto, we're not in Baltimore. You are on an island in Greece, and that's the energy and that's the kefi in the room and the
I love
experience that
that.
we're bringing to people.
I
Pumped.
love that.
So
I'm
fun.
so upset I'm not going to be able to come to the Baltimore concert, but I will be at the Philadelphia one.
Hell yeah.
So, which are the ones that you have coming up next?
So the tour next week, and we
Oh,
start
it
with
hasn't started
it
yet?
hasn't started yet. We're in preparation mode.
Girl, I thought it started.
No, no, no. So it starts in Dallas, May 7th. Then we go to Chicago, Toronto, Montreal, Boston, New York, Baltimore, Philly, LA, Phoenix, San Francisco, Seattle.
Wow.
So it's a lot. It's a lot of places. Yeah, lots of I just this week has been rehearsal week, which is why
Yeah.
maybe when we were talking, you were like, "Oh, she must be on tour," 'cause it's like rehearsals and practices and all that stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's rehearsal week. So right now we've been in serious like preparation mode to try and put together the best show possible for people.
So, this is your first solo tour.
Yes. Well, my first solo tour that's like really like set one date after the other. I did go on
Right.
tour last year, but they were more spread out and
Yeah.
not as like holistic. So we might as well say it my first solo tour.
Yeah.
It's definitely my biggest for sure.
I mean, are you like pinch me?
Yes,
Am I
definitely,
dreaming right now?
definitely. It's really crazy.
So going back to the first explanation of how you got into the music industry, what year was that you left teaching?
It was summer of 2018.
2018.
Yeah, summer of
So
2018.
we're 6 years now.
So yeah, which is wild.
It's
But
crazy.
yeah, summer 2018, I met Jay like 3 months later. 2019 was a lot of just being in the studio, developing the sound, experimenting. And then 2020, I signed my record deal 2 weeks before COVID. And
Wow.
then the world shut down. And then I had to start releasing from my room.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then the world opened up. Now I've been able to travel and actually get to do things and meet people. I think everybody was set back by COVID in one way or another, but that was
Yes.
definitely like, it was a bummer at the time. I had all these plans and touring things and like a radio
Yeah.
tour, and it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, nothing's happening. Yeah.
So most recently, you were on tour with Costantino Argiro,
Yes.
huge Greek artist.
Yes.
Like, if your jaw's not dropping, mine's
Yeah.
dropping.
No, it was crazy.
What
But
was that
the
like?
Barclays Center show in
Yeah.
particular was wild.
What was that like? Tell me what that was like being a part of history.
Yeah. It was so inspiring. And I did this one, you've probably seen them. I like to do these little covers where I incorporate
Yeah.
Greek and I give them a little Greek twist. For the Barclay show, I was really inspired and wanted to do something. And I took Empire State of Mind and I gave
Yes.
it a little Greek twist. And so singing that song on the stage in Brooklyn just had this like grit and heart to it, and like looking out and seeing all these Greek Americans just so proud and happy to be there. It was very special.
That's
It was very
something.
moving. It was very moving.
Yes.
Very moving.
Yes. I mean, I didn't get a chance to go to that one either. I was somewhere, which still mad about.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Just the on social media, what I saw and what I saw from you posting, I mean, such a surreal moment.
Yeah,
I'm sure. I'm
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. So feels like Greek summer tour starts when again?
Starts Wednesday, May 8th. So
May.
literally, what's today? Is today Thursday? Less than a week.
Less than a week. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
less than a week, which is
Is
crazy.
there one city that you're most excited for? I know
Well,
you're so excited for all of them,
I'm so
obviously.
excited for all of them, so I don't want anybody to get offended, but I am particularly excited for New York just because it's kind of like my home base. Growing
Yeah.
up in Jersey, New York is my city.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be performing at the Bowery Ballroom in New York, which for me has always been a dream of mine. It's not Barclays Center, but I've gone to see many artists that I love. Like I
Yes.
went to see The Weeknd there when he was like first starting out, like
Wow.
years ago. You know what I mean? So it just has this
Wow.
like, yeah, I've always dreamt of this venue and I'm really excited to have gotten to that.
Wow. Incredible career, incredible person. Guys, I
Thanks.
know you wish you were in my seat right now talking to Evangelia, but I'm telling you, it's literally like just talking to a friend. She is the most down to earth person. I do have a question.
Mhm.
Is there a Greek artist that you are really, really wanting to do a collab with? If there was
Yeah.
one you could choose.
Yeah. There's definitely a few, and there's more and more popping up now that are really, really cool. But I think
Mm.
for young Evangelia, somebody that I would love to collaborate with in particular, like by young Evangelia, I mean like people I really looked up to when I was younger and like was obsessed with. One would be Elena Paparizou,
Please, please do.
and another would be Anna Visi. And just to get to like do something with one of these like classic superstars would be really
Girl,
cool.
girl.
Let's
Mm.
see.
Paparizou, obviously, you have become one of my favorites, but Elena Paparizou, I'm with you. Like
Yeah,
she
she's so cool.
was.
She's just
She
so cool.
is.
She's done amazing things and she's really cool lady.
I love it. I love it. What about with any other male artists?
Male, let me think. There's a few. I really like Melis's.
Yeah,
I
I could
really like
see that for
Melis's.
sure.
Yeah, they're cool. Their song Ola Miazun Kalutieri is one of
Yes.
my favorite songs like of all time. I love it.
I feel like I could see you with like Mihaly Khadziani,
Love him.
right?
Love him.
And maybe more on the pop side, I would say like Saki Ruva.
That would be really fun.
That would be a fun
Just
one.
be like
Yeah.
shaking it.
Yeah, yeah.
We'd have to make something really fun with him. Yeah, there's it's cool. I love collaborations. I just think they bring it's the result is something that would never have been if you just did it yourself. So it's really cool to bring two personalities and two artists together to do something.
Yeah, and I mean it's you. It's all you. Like you are all about that infusion of the American, the Greek, the
Yeah.
traditional, the more modern American food, Greek food. Like
All of it.
yeah, that's you. So I love how you've put Evangelia and your brand and who you are into your music
Thank you.
into the Greek music world, and just making, like you said, it's you versus you, and that's it.
Thank
I
you.
love that. I
Thank you
love
so
that.
much. Thank you.
So for people out there who are questioning and dreaming big and maybe not seeing it happening logistically and
Mm-hmm.
having to get a real job, because honestly what you do is a real job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what would you tell them?
I would just say to like whatever it is that you are trying to do and that you're dreaming of doing, do it as much as you possibly can. So like even for me when I was teaching, yeah, I was teaching all day, but at night I was in New York City. I was like grading papers on the subway to on my way to the studio, you know.
Awesome.
Um it's kind of just like it's an hour never thing, and you just something that helped me a lot in my choices and my decisions to pursue this was imagining myself as an old lady one day sitting on my rocking chair looking back on my life and thinking like would I have had any regrets and would I regret not having at least tried with music, and the answer was yes. And so that helped me make my decision because when you think of yourself that you just realize wait, life is actually really short
Yeah.
and might as well try, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's like that saying, the answer is always going to be no if you don't ask.
yeah. 100% of the time you don't shoot, you don't score. That's what we would say in
Amen,
soccer too,
sister.
you know? So
Amen.
yeah, just go for it to the best of your abilities. And there's also nothing wrong with the side hustle. Like I'm so grateful I had my teaching job because I was able to live off of my savings for a little bit while, you know, money's a real thing and being able to survive
Yeah.
is a real thing. So, you know, you might need to have your side hustle or like your real job, but all your hours outside of that, like just keep at it and you never know.
Very true. Spoken from a dreamer herself that
Right.
has that is now living her dreams. I
Yeah.
mean, what more could you ask for? All right. So, most of my listeners are in Baltimore and DC,
Amazing.
but we'll shout out Philly too
That's
because
right.
it's pretty close, and New
Yeah.
York. We'll throw New
Yeah.
York in there as well.
Come on, guys.
So, New York, remind us the dates.
Yeah, so New York is on May 16th. Baltimore is May 18th, and Philly is May 23rd.
Guys, you are going to click the link in the description. You're going to go buy your tickets. Who doesn't want to feel like they're in Greece
That's right.
without the travel and the long flight and all
It's
that?
way cheaper than a flight to Greece.
Yeah,
I can guarantee
exactly.
that.
It's a good ass time.
It's
Like,
a great time. It's gonna be so much fun. Like, I've had so much fun in rehearsals the last couple days, and I'm just really excited. Really
I
excited to share this.
It's and so many people are so excited. I know people who are already planning on going. If they haven't bought their tickets, y'all gotta go get your tickets. And also check out the new limited edition Leah by Evangelia rings
That's
that
right.
are going to be available on tour.
That's
How
right.
freaking exciting!
Yay!
I'm so excited. Whoever's going to
Thank you.
Philly show, I'll see you there. All my Baltimore people, make sure you show up May 18th at Baltimore Sound Stage. That
Right.
is where Evangelia is going to be performing. And I know y'all have been to Baltimore Sound Stage before. Like, that's a staple here.
I'm excited.
So it's going to be such an incredible tour, an incredible show. Evangelia, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
too.
on the show. However, since you are a guest, I have one last question
Okay.
to initiate you into the truth.
Okay.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
That's become a very popular one.
Yeah. I would love to just not sit on a plane anymore.
It's
I'd love
rough.
to just like, I'm in Crete,
I'm here
New York, San Francisco, Miami,
anywhere.
Bali, like literally anywhere. How cool would that be?
That I know
That
it
would be
would.
so convenient. You don't have to drive.
Oh,
Like, you know, flying would be cool, but there's like bad weather and all this stuff. I could just get there.
there's birds and
Yeah,
planes.
there's other traffic, you know? I could just teleport.
I love it. Evangelia, thank you for being such an incredible role model for not only me, but for other dreamers out there that
Thank you.
are looking to live their dream life and achieve their goals. So thank you for being such an incredible role model to all of us and blessing us with your music. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you in Philly and everybody
Yes,
else,
ma'am.
wherever they're coming. It'll be fun.
Make sure you guys check out all of Evangelia's socials in the description. Click on the website. Make sure you go get your tickets because they are gonna sell out. I'm telling you.
Moves.
Make moves today. All
Yes.
right, guys. Make sure to stay tuned for another episode of True Talk Podcast coming next week. Love you.
Thanks for listening to the True Talk podcast. Make sure to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and stay tuned for more to come.